For this video is about video games I couldn't really get into, right? I couldn't really enjoy, right? Rarely do I play games that I don't enjoy, right? Very rarely, very rarely. But throughout playing so many games, there's going to be games that I don't really enjoy, right? So yeah, like, share, subscribe, share the video all over, right? And leave down below games you didn't really quite enjoy or games you couldn't really get into. And for this video, it's not necessarily bad games. It's just more so from my viewpoint, right? First one's gonna be Death Stranding. For it's mostly because of its lack of gameplay. Lack of gameplay features. It needed more. Give me more offensive variety, right? Lots of walking around, walking. I hear the jokes and memes online 3 years back. Oh, this game is like a walking simulator. It's like a walking simulator. It missed mark. Death Stranding, they definitely missed the mark in this game in terms of giving, now, with this game, yeah, it just lacked those various offensive, variety and all that. But what I like about Death Stranding is its features. There's various features, survival features, like breathing and heart rate and, stamina, right? Those things kind of aim to, slow you down and monitor things, right? You gotta, now and then, stop to kind of monitor like your vitals and the vitals of BD or whatever, right? You gotta the packages, so like your basic carrying packages, right? So it's very slow paced gameplay, very slow, and it's like an open world too, right? It would have been better. It would have been better if it was a linear game with more offensive variety, right? Now I do like the features like similar, like if you play a Skyrim or Fallout, right? There's inventory, loadout, limits, right? So there's various limits. But this one specifically, you can see all what you're carrying, which is very cool. It's a very cool feature. So every package, everything that you're carrying is on your back, literally. Like you literally see it, right? It's like a physical representation. If you carry too much, your character's gonna fall over or you can't run. But yeah, it just allows for more. Again, it allows for more slower paced gameplay. But this game needs to be faster with more variety, more, and give us like a vehicle. Like it's a big, this big ass open world, and you're just walking. You're just walking or running or a fast walking. There's no vehicle early on in the game, which I know you kind of lock later on. But Death Stranding, yeah, I missed the mark. Blackwind, another one. Blackwind, kind of hard game to explain, but Blackwind, like I kind of think like a bird's eye view mech shooter type game, right? This game, actually started out very good. It started out very good, and I didn't really, I enjoyed it afterwards. So this is what do you call it again? A Nintendo game, right? I never heard of this a company. What's it called? A Pub Fish or whatever. But Blackwind, first off, the map is not that good. The map is not that good, right? So navigating around the world wasn't very easy. It was confusing, right? Enemies. So some of the areas like where there's so many enemies coming at you at once, right? And there's various collectibles in the game, skin collectibles in the game. There's like a mini story going on, which I wasn't really invested in, right? But navigating, especially like when you go into like there's these military facilities in the game, or these futuristic. I like the science fiction element to the game though, but navigating like around like these tight areas, right? It's kind of like a sort of maze, so it doesn't really allow for a lot of variety, right? But yeah, Blackwind though, does have interesting elements to it, but yeah, this one though, I couldn't really quite get into. Next one is going to be here, Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights, this needed to be like a linear game. This one is some sort of open world experience. So Gotham Knights, they were clearly trying to do an Arkham game, right? So a Batman Arkham game, trying to redo that, but it's a little different. There's no Batman, there's no Batman, right? And it's not as good as Batman Arkham games, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, right? Asylum. First off, the actual combat is not as good. The combat is not as good, right? There's too many RPG elements. There's not enough, fun to be had, right? The enemies aren't as fun to fight, right? And now I like with the RPG elements, there are some interesting elements like the various upgrade trees, and each you can play as Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood, right? And each character has their own upgrade tree, so they have their own upgrade tree, right? Upgrading like stats, efficiency, effectiveness, attributes, and all those things, right? But yeah, this need to be more other element, RPG elements. This need to be more of a linear type game. Take away the open world, right? There's like those basic Batman task in this game. Take out beat up various thugs or whatever. Find certain conspiracies and puzzles. So there's gonna be puzzles, a detective, puzzles or whatever. Those are actually pretty good in this one. But yeah, I couldn't really get into this one. Gotham. It had like a cool name though, a cool cover, but the actual game was kind of a lackluster. Avengers, so similar type of problem, so very similar, right? Type of problem. Avengers, more so. So this was like a live service type game, right? But it had like a single player mode, which I played. Single player story mode. So if you played, if you watch like a lot of people, at the MCU, right? The Avengers, the Avengers, Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, right? This one introduces Kamala Khan, right? Which I know about this character, but she was kind of interesting. Now the game itself, too many RPG elements, annoying RPG elements. The enemies, they're not fun to fight. Too many enemies coming at you at once. The power scaling issue, so Hulk is just as effective as Iron Man or Captain America, when Hulk is supposed to be the most effective, the most dangerous Avenger, right? He's supposed to be the most powerful Avenger, right? But this game, Hulk is kind of limited. Now Captain America, each character does is kind of very unique, right? Captain America with a shield, Iron Man with flight, Thor with flight, right? A Mjolnir, right? Black Widow is like a spy. There's no Hawkeye until later, like with the DLC updates. This game was shut down, so it was shut down the online. There, I think you can still play the single player, but yeah, it had a lot of elements in it that didn't really go well together. I remember the game had lots of a pay to win crap. So you would pay for the game would have are optional, like paying for things like uniforms and attribute sets or whatever. It's not like Spider-Man, so Insomniac Spider-Man, where you unlock uniforms naturally, progressions, like through progressions, right? Or through, tokens and upgrade points. This one is a different. You unlock them through, like some sort of a transaction or these long ass challenges, right? So it's very long challenges, unnecessary challenges. So yeah, Avengers. And think about it too, like when you have a superhero game, you gotta give lots of uniforms, tons of skins, lots of skins out there, tons of comic book adaptations for various characters like Cap, Iron Man, it's a crazy playing Iron Man, and then you can only have one look, right? Because a customization uniform addition was kind of a limited, right? So yeah, Avengers. And the enemies, again, they weren't very fun to fight. Enemies, hit spongy, bullet spongy, they would take forever. Some enemies could take forever to take out. And these RPG systems, you can see the leveling above the enemy, right? As you're fighting them, right? And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's Avengers. Prey, another game, Prey. It's kind of hard. This one is kind of hard to explain because I like the premise of Prey. Arcane Studios, so I like Bethesda. So Bethesda, Arcane also made Dishonored. They made Deathloop. I'm a huge fan of Dishonored, right? So this one has like those a Bethesda elements to it and features. Prey, however, for this game, I couldn't really get into. Prey, first of all, has a lot of locked paths. So lots of blocked pathways. Lots of blocked pathways that you have to unlock through passwords. So this game, the tone is kind of like a Dead Space, right? You're isolated at this space station, dark areas, dark rooms. Not as scary, nowhere as scary as Dead Space, but still this is more of a semi-horror. Prey, it starts off very slow pace, right? you know, I didn't like I didn't really I constantly ran like out of ammo, so I constantly have to craft ammo, find ammo, right, loot for ammo, right, but constantly I running like out of ammo, and too many black pathways, and the map and navigation similar thing to control. So the game control had navigation problems, Blackwing as well, this one as well. So navigating around the world was kind of confusing, but Prey does have a potential there. There was a potential. I know a lot of people liked it though, so this is a very liked game. But this one, for some reason, I couldn't really get into. Prey as well, good graphics. There's various, what I like about it too, you're in space. So like it does a good job too, like those space elements, zero gravity elements, and inertia, and yeah, there's various elements. So there's electricity, there's poison, there's like this foam element that traps the enemy. Right, there's like this foam gun, like foam. I kind of think like a foam soap, but it traps the enemy. The enemies like were pretty cool, but everything else in this game was kind of, for me, I couldn't really get into it. Right. Environmental, so there's going to be puzzles, right? So a password, so various rooms, various facilities and areas with a password. You gotta find passwords to unlock more doors like in the game, right? More passwords, the better off like you are, right? I'm memorizing in like in notes and or whatever. So yeah, Prey. That's Prey. Last one's gonna be Hitman 3, which I haven't played like for a while, but Hitman 3, Hitman 3, lots of different variety, offensive variety, but I couldn't really quite get into the stealth of this game, right? The various level designs I didn't like, right? The targets, and mainly because this is not so much, again, it doesn't necessarily mean that that Hitman 3 has a bad game, but it just has elements in it that I didn't really quite like. Hitman 3, I remember playing Absolution, so Absolution, same type of idea, right? But Absolution was more linear. This one is more so. You could always go a back and forth between side missions and main ops missions, right? This one, it's the same thing too. But yeah, this one I struggle with a lot. I struggle with like the stealth, right? The various the weapons are pretty cool, right? The collectibles, interactables, disguises are back, but there's this is stealth I couldn't really quite get into. And it is a very slow paced game, right? The slow pace. The good thing though, it does have that spy type, a James Bond type story, right? Not so much, but a spy, like this agent, right? You guys know Agent 47, like from Hitman, right? But he's more stoic. He's more like he doesn't talk as much, right? But yeah, good graphics though. Very beautiful game graphically. Very the enemy, actual character designs were very well done. The weapon designs, and yeah. But other than that, like the actual stealth itself, the stealth mechanics, I couldn't really quite get into it. So games I couldn't really quite get into. Gotham Knights. So Gotham Knights, Blackwing, Avengers, Prey, Dead Stranding, right? Like, share, subscribe. I share the video all over. Thank you.